To Washington now, where Special Counsel Robert Mueller's Russia investigation may finally be coming to a close. Mueller is expected to give his final report to the Justice Department before Attorney General Rod Rosenstein leaves next month.
But the Trump administration could move to prevent some of it from being made public. President Trump is leaving for his summit with Kim Jong-un Monday. Yesterday, he was asked about this.
Mr. President, should the Mueller report be released while you're abroad next week?
That'll be totally up to the new Attorney General. He's a tremendous man, a tremendous person who really respects this country and respects the Justice Department. So that'll be totally up to him.
All right, so CBS News Washington correspondent Paula Reid is with us now from the White House. Paula, you've been following the Russia probe from the beginning. What are you hearing about when we can expect perhaps a report to be released?
We expect a report to be delivered to the Justice Department anytime in the next few weeks. It is expected that this report will come before Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein, who of course appointed the special counsel and has overseen that investigation over the past 20 months, before he leaves in mid-March. There is a hope within the Justice Department that they can get through the report, be done with that. Rod Rosenstein leaves, and perhaps William Barr and his new deputy will be able to sort of clean the slate at the Justice Department and start anew. There's a lot of frustration within the Justice Department that they do so much important work, but Russia has just overshadowed and in some cases tainted everything.
So, Paula, I recall during the confirmation hearings for Mr. Barr, the new Attorney General, he was asked specifically by members of Congress if he would make this report public. If he chooses not to, if he chooses to simply provide, for example, a summary of Robert Mueller's findings, what is the power of Congress to release the information or subpoena information? And given that it's Washington, I got to ask, can we expect some leaks?
Leaks are possible, but I'll be honest, we haven't really seen any true leaks up to this point. I cover this very closely. The special counsel's office does not leak. Now, Congress, that's another story. So let's look at what Mueller's requirements are. His job requirement is that he has to submit a report to the Attorney General detailing people and targets that he has investigated, people he chose to prosecute, and people he did not. He also is expected to brief Congress on the investigation. But there is no requirement that the special counsel release anything to the public. So ultimately, that is all up to William Barr. He has, as you've noted, he's pledged transparency. He's even suggested, hey, I'll release a summary of these findings. But House Democrats have made it clear they're not interested in William Barr's summary. They want the full report, and if they don't get the full report, they will subpoena it. Now, leaking any information they get is also an option. But up until now, the special counsel's office does not leak. Once this information gets to Congress, it's anybody's guess.
Paula, I want to ask you about something else. We've learned that President Trump's former attorney, Michael Cohen, will testify on Capitol Hill next week. What can we expect to come out of that? I know he's testifying in front of two committees, and he's getting a bit of an extension because he's supposed to be, going to jail, but he's going to get about 60 days before he has to do that.
That's right. He was expected to report for his 3-year prison sentence the first week in March. That's been pushed back about 60 days to the first week in May. He requested that extension because of recent surgery that he's had and also these obligations he has to testify before Congress. I think a lot of these hearings, it's going to focus on campaign finance violations and how much the president knew about hush money being paid to women who alleged they were having affairs with him. AMI, the publisher of the National Enquirer, its chairman and CEO David Pecker, and Michael Cohen have all admitted that they worked together to suppress these stories to help the president get elected in violation of campaign finance laws. So the question a lot of Democrats are going to have is, how much did the president know about that? Was he involved? Because he could potentially have some legal exposure there. Now, for Republicans, if Cohen makes any claims that could cause problems to the president, he's very easy to undermine and to impeach. You just remind him that one of the things he's pleaded guilty to is lying to Congress. And the last time he testified, he was not fully honest. He's admitted to that. That's part of why he's headed to jail. So it's easy to sort of undercut his credibility. What he will not be asked about is anything to do with the Russia investigation. There is an agreement that lawmakers will still steer clear of the Russia probe out of respect for the special counsel's investigation. So I do not expect that he will be asked that much about Trump Tower Moscow or anything having to do with the Mueller probe.
Paula, he was supposed to testify before Congress before. He backed out of it, saying that he felt threatened by the president. His family was threatened. Has anything changed?
Well, the one thing that has changed is that date one of the dates where he is going to testify is the same date the president has a very big event. He will be in Vietnam holding another summit with the leader of North Korea. And you have to remember, a lot of Cohen's motivation for testifying is political. He and his attorney, Lanny Davis, they want to damage or at least aggravate the president to the extent that they can. So when they rescheduled that initial hearing and put it on this specific date, it was clear that was something to distract from what the president believes is one of his signature accomplishments and something he's very proud of. So again, a lot of this is politically motivated. Whether or not he'll back it out again, I don't know. But when I saw how they did the scheduling here, it was tough not to question their motivations.
All right, Paula, thank you so much.